Hiya, and welcome back to Rain Check. The game that teaches us that... I don't know. I do not know where we are. At all. I genuinely do not know where we are. I cannot load any previous saves because they're all broken. So, we have to go through the, extras. I think we were bottom. No, we were at the top. We asked if he was K, and Theodore did not. We did it in Yacht's room. Yes, we did all that. I think this is where we need to go. I think. I can't remember. Off to Javier's place.
I don't understand.
Am I missing something? This doesn't account for what I'm thinking. I know that I'm close. The facts all seem to be pointing in a specific direction, but I can't seem to reach a clear conclusion. I stare at my screen again, rubbing my temples, trying to see if there's any flaw in my logic.
I'm getting nowhere with this.
Shaking my head, I clear the document I'd been working on out of frustration.
Let me try this again. There must be something I'm not accounting for.
What happened that night was definitely not a coincidence, and yet... how could we have conveniently run into Magnus, of all people? Then Rue and Theodore were attacked by an unknown group when they were trailing the snow leopard. Highly implausible. And to top it all off, how was I able to join a... yeah. Ew! Hang on. Do I have a skip unseen? I do not. Yeah, fuck off, Lawrence. My apologies. You know how it is with tall people. But maybe you wouldn't. Ha! Literally calls him short.
Yes, Monty with an I. How could I not remember your loud demeanor?
Haha, sweet!
I understand. But what's he doing here?
I brought him with me because he remembered something about the power plant this morning.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise. I suppose the two of you can come in since you came all this way.
The two make their way to my living room with the boar brushing precariously close by my bookshelves.
Hey, not too close to the books! That bookshelf probably costs more than you think!
Dude, that's so cool! I wish I had nice things like these! Yo, what's that over there? The boar points to my toaster in the kitchen.
That's a toaster?
Wow, but it's not just any toaster. You have one of the fancy ones. I've been trying to save up for one of those.
Fancy? What are you even talking about? This piece of trash can't even heat properly.
I don't know. Yours is so shiny.
Right, well, the two of you can have a seat while I get you two something to drink.
Water's fine. The boar nods happily at Theodore. Yeah, same for me, dude. I step over to the kitchen for a second before walking back and handing over the two gentlemen their cups.
So, how is he? Rue, I mean.
He's awake now, but...
Good.
A wave of relief washes over me knowing Rue is okay.
I was worried he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, he's, never mind. How have you been? What did you manage to find out when you were with Magnus that night? I shake my head, rolling my head as I do when the thought of Magnus pops back into my mind.
Magnus needed someone as a witness for the contract he was signing at a business party. Interesting enough, I think I saw Nodal there. Didn't we meet his son when we were trying to infiltrate the storage room?
You did? David was there too?
Not that I could tell. It was mainly filled with people in suits and faces I couldn't recognize. But I'm pretty sure I spotted Nodal.
So what was his contract for? Why were you needed there as a witness? I thought he needed someone smart.
It didn't seem that important, just some investment policies. Seems like Magnus is trying to expand his wealth into other companies. The only thing I managed to learn is that the person who set up the meeting with Magnus at the speakeasy was called Helix.
Helix, not Felix?
Helix. That leads me to believe that's some kind of code name.
Whoa, Helix! That's a cool name! I feel like I've heard that kind of name before. Nah, false alarm. Hey, that reminds me, I remember some stuff back at the power plant that I thought you might want to hear. I roll my eyes at the boar. I guess I can hear him out.
Yes, what is it?
I watch Monty carefully as he gets up from his seat. Okay, so, there I was, in the power plant, being escorted inside by Snowy. But there was this, huge 18-wheeler that was being loaded in with a bunch of boxes. Remember one of the workers there accidentally dropped one of them and made a loud thud, and then Snowy snapped at them. I stroke my chin, deliberating if this piece of info is relevant or not.
But we didn't see any truck of that size when we were there.
Not to mention that, but have you seen the news recently? Apparently the police have started their investigations into the power plant since yesterday afternoon. What do you think this means?
Nothing good. Due to the circumstances and timing and how things have played out that day, no one should have tipped off the authorities considering that the place has been abandoned.
So, the police shouldn't have known about it.
Well, let's break it down. It makes sense for a blackout to report this, and if it wasn't us, then the only possibility is that another unknown party informed the police about this. They must have known about blackout, and they also must have known that they were at the power plant.
You don't think it's another rival gang that reported them, do you? I think you mentioned something like this before.
I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. I need to look into that, but I currently have my paws tied with the amount of work I need to do.
Well, that's fine. I was thinking I could look into it if you were busy.
No, that won't be necessary. I think it would be best if you didn't involve yourself with this anymore.
What? But why? I thought we were trying to figure this stuff out. Wouldn't it make sense if we investigate this, especially since it's so closely related to what happened with me and Rue?
Yes, I agree, but...
And we're at the snow leopard that got away. The three of us were there that night in the alleyway, and I'm pretty sure he was the main target. Confusion strikes across my face.
Lawrence never mentioned this to me.
You wouldn't have known. I never told him. I was going to tell you when you visited me at the hospital, but you left so quick I didn't get the chance. If only I hadn't smashed my phone that night, I would have used a proxy to call you afterward.
I see.
My mind flicks briefly to the now useless phone sitting disassembled on my desk.
Unfortunately, even if that were the case, you wouldn't be able to reach me. Ever since the investigation at the power plant, my phone has been acting up. My assumption is that the
Javier noises. From the corner of my eye, I catch Monty's eyes glaze over and stop myself from explaining further.
But I digress. In short, my phone is also broken. To avoid further confusion, I suppose this would be the appropriate time to fill me in on what I missed. And I can ask her to report his side of the story later this week.
I don't think that's possible.
And why is that? I thought you said he's awake now.
The tiger looks nervously at the board before turning his gaze to me. I don't know how to bring this up, so I'll just say it. He has amnesia.
Amnesia? You're kidding, right? How is that possible? How can Rue... amnesia is usually triggered by... Are you sure it's not something else and he was misdiagnosed?
I step back in disbelief at what I'm hearing. The tiger shakes his head and starts to tear up. Couldn't even remember his name. Yo, it'll be okay. He'll remember eventually, right? Isn't that what the doctor said? I don't know, it might take months. I read some people might even go their entire life without remembering. But my chest tightens as the reality begins to sink in all at once. Javier, I really need your help. I need to figure out who is responsible for shooting us that night.
I
can't help.
I can't help you guys.
What? But why not? I thought we were onto something. If we can just figure out more about that snow leopard, we're gonna have a chance of figuring out who's behind all this while the leads are still fresh. Please, we have to do this for Rue.
Before you say anything else, I need to let you know I avoided the contract you signed 2 days ago.
What?
I can't have you working with us anymore. It's too dangerous.
Too dangerous? So what? You're just going to investigate without me?
Yes, eventually, but it seems like the focus has shifted. And before you say anything else, remember that the main goal of the investigation was to find details about the harbor fire. That being said, Lawrence found the survivor the other night at the speakeasy.
He did? But he left soon after you went with Magnus.
Doesn't matter now. What matters is that we have a strong lead of the survivor's whereabouts. Prioritizing that over these leads that we have is the right course of action.
What about the...
Listen, Theodore, I don't want to sound harsh or unreasonable. I'll look into Blackout as soon as I track down the survivor and get the necessary information from them.
And how long is that going to take?
If I depart tomorrow and everything goes smoothly, it might take an entire day. But these things rarely go without a hitch. The survivor may not be home, or I might have to do a stakeout that could take a week. Then I have to spend the day after that processing.
Javier, that's going to take too long. I have to leave soon. Not only that, if we don't act soon, we might never figure out who did this.
Applying your same reasoning, if I act soon, the survivor... If I don't act soon, the survivor may slip away from us again. And what does that have to do with you? I have to remind you, you're not affiliated with us anymore. The only reason I even let you in was so you could get your stuff and leave.
He didn't even check up on us afterwards. Rue could have died. His words strike me unexpectedly, but they're true, and he's absolutely right.
Theodore,
Your own friend got shot, and you don't even want to find out why. Do you not care about us, about Rue? You guys, no need to be so uptight, right? We're all chill here, right? Javier, please, think about it. This can't all be one big coincidence, can it? The text, the storage of the power plant, and how there was Magnus and the snow leopard at the speakeasy, and we got targeted right afterwards. Think about it, please. I rub my temples, a throbbing headache growing as I struggle to process everything at once. The facts are all there, but what does this mean? Something still feels off, or missing. Could it be related to the snow leopard at all, or would I just be wasting my time? Hey, are you okay? You look lightheaded.
yes, I'll be fine. Just give me a minute to think.
I clasp my paws and brood over the circumstantial events that have unfolded over the past week. It's always been Blackout and the snow leopard. We've hardly scratched the surface of the main case, yet we've already uncovered so much. What does that mean, and why has it been so hard to contact the office these past days? Are you done thinking yet? I cast a stern glare at the board before rolling my eyes.
Yes, I am done.
Well,
Yes, there may be a possibility that you're right. But before we do anything, I need to reinstate you to our team, Theodore. Fortunately, it should be fairly easy since I haven't submitted the changes to the previous contract.
so does that mean you're going to help us find the snow leopard?
For the time being, yes. And I also want to state that
I grab my arm tightly before digging my paws into my pocket.
it's hard for me to visit Rue. It's not that I don't care, it's the opposite.
I let out a long, drawn-out sigh.
There's just a lot going on, and I'd rather focus on the task at hand, but given his current condition, I need to pay him a visit at some point. Regardless, please sit. I'm going to get my laptop.
Laptop? Did you manage to find out anything important?
You could say that. So please, stay here a while.
Whoa! See, Theodore, I told you that Javier would help us find Snowy. Now we can go and find him and get answers.
Hold on. Yes, I am helping. But only if we do things my way.
Your way? What does that mean? We're not planning on tracking them down? Oh, do you have a better idea?
Depends on how you view it. But it's obviously too dangerous and unreliable to search for someone who tried to kill us, don't you agree? Your plan would basically involve searching for a needle in a haystack, right?
The tiger nods meekishly.
Instead, we should pursue any solid leads on his character, effectively shrinking the size of the figurative haystack. And a few options come to mind.
Well, in that case, shortly after you left with Magnus, a polar bear named Christopher came in with the snow leopard. I thought it was strange because they also work at the Grand Marine as a security guard. Focus my gaze at Theodore, shaking my head at what I'm hearing.
And you're telling me this now? You could have mentioned this earlier. This changes everything.
Huh? It does? Oh, wait, it does. We can try and track down Christopher, right?
Yes, exactly. That polar bear. We don't know why he was there, but now we have a direct connection between the snow leopard and another person. We might be able to gather more information about his motives and reasons for visiting the speakeasy if we can track down this Christopher. In that case, it might do us some good to pay Dust another visit and see if he knows anything about this.
Dust? Would he know about this?
Yes, he is our informant after all. He might not look like it, but he's extremely knowledgeable about the inner workings of the city, including its people. He probably has a lead or two on this. Hopefully.
So, what's the plan, guys? Who's dusty? Do they need cleaning? Oh, but you probably have a vacuum, right? I roll my eyes, doing my best to ignore the bore.
I'm going to go retrieve my laptop and run through the details with you, Theodore. Despite the fact that searching for the survivor would end this case almost immediately, you do raise a solid point. Everything seems too coincidental. Yes?
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking too. There's something that's been bothering me. It's about what you mentioned earlier. Theodore scratches his head before his eyes bounces between the bore and me. You know, Lawrence. I roll my eyes at the mention of the name.
Yes. What about him?
You said the focus has shifted in the investigation, right?
That's correct.
And if I'm understanding correctly, that's only because Lawrence found the survivor.
Yes. That's what I've been trying to say. If we're able to find the survivor, then this case will be done.
But it just doesn't add up. How could he have found the survivor when we were also there searching the entire night as well? Now that Rue's in the hospital...
Well, Lawrence said he was able to track them down outside.
Really? I highly doubt that because he was sitting by the bar almost the entire night. Wait, one second. Javier, when was this?
When was this what?
When exactly did you learn that Lawrence found the survivor? Was it after we went to the hospital?
No, he told me this morning. Where are you going with this line of reasoning?
See, that makes it even weirder. Why did Lawrence wait until today to let you know? When he found the survivor on the night of the shooting?
Yes, it is that there's a time gap. I hadn't questioned him on it, but now that you mention it...
My brows furrow as I shake my head.
You two arrived shortly after Lawrence left to tell me that he found the survivor by the cliffs.
The cliffs? Dude! The boy suddenly waves his arms at us frantically in excitement. Dude, I used to live there. It used to be so cool. But now it is pretty scary stuff, man. I wouldn't go back to that place even if you paid me a gazillion billion trillion dollars. See?
Oh, scary? Explain what you mean. I know the place is more or less deserted, but that's the extent of my knowledge.
Dude, I lived a town over by the cliffs growing up, and man, let me tell you, there were weird things that would happen all the time. Define weird? What kind of things are we talking about? Weird, spooky things. Massive cover-ups, kidnappings, aliens from another dimension, and most importantly, spooky weird stuff.
Uh-huh. And could you be more specific?
Let me think. It happened a long time ago, but my fondest memories was when I was a teen, and there were always these groups of black cars that entered the cliffs through our town. No one knew who these dudes were, and they would drive by in the middle of the night. This happened over like a week. There were men in suits telling people to stay away. Like, stay away or you will be exposed to dangers. Or something like that. Gives me the chills just thinking about it because, like, the men looked really scary. We couldn't even leave our houses at some point. Also, I don't know how much of this is true, but there was this rumor floating around that the cliffs had a large chemical spill in the ocean and they had to cover that up like crazy. People were saying, anyone who touched that water had their fur and scales right away and turned into zombies! Wait, that's probably why we couldn't leave our houses! They were trying to protect us from the zombies. Nah, there's no way, right? Zombies don't exist.
Ahem.
But yeah, this happened a bit after the men appeared and they wouldn't let us anywhere near the direction of the cliffs. And they never really told us why. Sad it's abandoned now, kind of a shame, cause like, it was such a nice place to visit growing up.
Interesting. I haven't heard about any of this before, but then again, I don't really keep up with things outside our local area.
Just curious, but how far are the cliffs from here anyway? From here, probably like 2 hours away if you take the freeway. It's a fun drive though. You can pass by tons of farms and trees and farms. There's also this giant rock that...
Ahem. Thank you for the clarification.
2 hours? That's pretty far away. I guess it would make sense for the survivor to hide there, but still. Yep, 2 hours. 4 for the round trip, but that's assuming traffic is good. I don't know about you guys, but I personally wouldn't check out the cliffs to look for the survivor. I think it's a huge waste of time. To think about it, Lawrence told you days after that he had located where the survivor was, and where's all this proof? It just feels... off.
I can see why he would say that, but he does have some proof.
I rummage through my pocket and hand over the 2 photographs to the pair.
Allegedly, he was able to take a photo of the survivor as well as the location of where they're residing at.
What's with the quality of these images? They look so grainy. Did he take these with a potato? Whoa, is that how the city looks now? Looks like a giga earthquake exploded everything apart. Man, it's even sadder now that I'm seeing these pics.
Anyway, yes, although I didn't ask about the quality of the images. I do agree with you, Theodore, at least to some degree.
About
Locating the snow leopard. Especially since there are some things that are inconsistent with Lawrence.
You mean how he didn't tell you about the survivor for a couple of days?
Not just that, but I only realize now that the info he's been giving us about practically everything relating to the case is from him. I tried to contact the boss to verify the authenticity of the information, but I'm not able to reach him for some reason. And don't even get me started on why he's even here. That damn wolf is supposed to be on vacation.
That's strange. What about trying to ask your boss in person?
It's something I've considered but haven't gotten the time to do. I might make it a top priority to get some answers. Regardless, even if I go or not, I think there's some sort of coincidence going on that we should look into. More specifically, the night when we went to the speakeasy.
I shudder as thoughts of the large Arctic fox spring to mind, making it hard for me to retrace the events of that night.
If only I could speak with Magnus again. There's a few things I'd like to ask him regarding the contract he had to sign.
Oh, I thought he wanted you to help him with that.
Yes, but he managed to omit some details when I questioned him, probably intentionally, too. The most important one being, why are you moving large amounts of assets and investments?
Oh, it's simple. Just go and ask him.
Clearly, someone hasn't been paying attention. Plus, that's probably 100 times harder than trying to find our snow leopard friend.
Magnus didn't give you any way to contact him, did he?
No, he didn't.
Shrugging off the thought, I motioned for Theodore to follow me to my room.
Anyway, I've spent the last couple of days processing and analyzing the evidence we found at the power plant. I was planning to archive my progress and shift my focus to finding the survivor, but since I'm helping you and you're here now, come in my room. I'd rather just show you instead of bringing my laptop out.
Hey, can I come in too?
I would prefer if you didn't.
Aww.
Please wait here. This shouldn't take long. In the meantime, you can...
Oh, I can check out that fancy toaster.
Hey, wait! You better not do anything stupid.
I promise I won't touch anything, just a peek here and there.
Ugh.
The boar scampers off to my kitchen, leaving Theodore and me staring at each other bewildered.
This way.
Oh my... Oh my god! He doesn't give a shit about anything but the toaster. So, what did you want to show me?
A moment, please.
I walk over, log into my computer, and quickly begin opening folders and files for the tiger.
Do you remember the redacted piece of paper I found by the incinerator in the power plant?
Yeah, I mentioned something about skeleton, right?
Ah, so you do remember. Yes, that's one I've spent several hours over the past few days trying to unredact the text.
I click open a file and present a thorough scan of the paper to Theodore on the brightly lit screen.
I had moderate success and managed to extract a few passages from the paper using an open-source optical character recognition API found online.
Right. Huh. Am I reading this correctly? Is this some kind of patent for chemical production or something?
It's not a patent, but a research paper that describes the experimental production of a specific chemical. Unfortunately, it seems we're missing some pages, as the information here lacks context.
I point to a particular passage on the screen.
This is where we saw the word skeleton, but it turns out it doesn't seem to be related to anything else. Feels like we're missing other pages to make sense of this.
So about the chemical. Do we know what it's called? Please don't tell me it's this long name on the screen here. Cesium bismethoxytre anitrizingoperohazinide. That was a mouthful to say.
Yes, it's called cesium bismethoxytrizine aminotriazinoperoxohazinide. Later in the document, it's simply referred to as SEBAF.
I don't remember much from my high school chemistry class, but this SEBAF doesn't sound natural.
Yes, that's the point of the paper. It's purely synthetic. And whatever it is, nothing shows up when looking up this SEBAF online.
The real question is, why was this found by the incinerator? Guessing whoever threw it there was trying to get rid of this.
Yes, that's the most obvious explanation. I'm also assuming there were countless other pages that were tossed in, with this being the only remnant. There is one more thing to note, though. I don't know the significance of this, but right here at the bottom.
Point my paw at the corner of the screen and zoom into the image.
There's a small logo of a leaf here.
Oh, wait, they tried to redact that. Doesn't that mean it's important then?
Perhaps. I'm not sure what exactly it's supposed to mean. Regardless, this was all the information I could lift from the paper. It's not much, but I thought I'd share it with you, all things considered.
That's that, I guess.
For the time being, yes.
And the other data collected at the power plant? I roll my eyes at the tiger.
Unrecoverable. I don't know if I'll ever be able to retrieve on how corrupted the data is.
Right, sorry about that. He did save my life. Maybe I should cut him some slack.
No matter. We should focus on finding that security guard that accompanied the snow leopard at the speakeasy, correct?
Yeah, they work at the Grand Marine. I've seen them around a couple times already.
Good. Then let's attempt to track... But before that... Let's attempt to track them down and see what we can learn. But before that, let's pay a visit to Rue. Thank you for reminding me of my social priorities.
I grip myself tightly, uneasy at the thought of Rue losing his memories. Oh, okay if you're sure, but I was just at the hospital and they've relocated him to another building for recovery. I'm not entirely sure if he'll be available.
That's fine, we can still go. There's also his medical report I'm interested in looking over. We can...
Hey, guys, I, got bored, so I decided to sit on the couch, but something fell off the table, and, I think I broke something, maybe. Oops.
You broke something?
I don't know how it happened. One moment I was sitting on the couch, watching my funny videos, and then something fell from the bottom of the table. Tried to fix it and put it back, but it wouldn't stick anymore.
What? What kind of nonsense are you talking about?
Monty sheepishly opens up his paws, revealing a small plastic nib.
What the hell's that? Give me that!
To drink water.
I take the
It's
small
time
piece
to
of
drink
plastic from the
water.
boar's paws and hold it up to light for a better view.
It's
Trying
time
to
to
figure out
drink
where it went on
water.
the table. Man, I didn't realize the table would shake so much
It's
from
time to drink water.
just from moving my legs.
You said this fell from the table?
Yeah, man. What is that? That's for your table? It doesn't really match the colors from what I've seen.
It seems so. Let me need to look at it more carefully. I don't recall having these plastic nibs installed on...
Yo! Airplanes! You got like so many of them. You got the fancy displays for them too. That's so cool.
Wait, calm down. One thing at a time.
Despite my best attempt to block the boar, he bulldozes past me and heads straight for my collection.
We're not touching any of them. They're worth more than you think.
Hey, what's with that one with the large red wings and the fans? Ooh, what about this long, skinny one? I set down the nib on my desk, trying my best to peel Monty off my display cabinet.
Ugh, I'd prefer you keep your face away from the glass. It's hard enough to clean already as it is.
We should probably head back to the hospital now. Hospital? You're gonna go back, but we were just there. Javier wanted to pay a visit to Rue, so... Hey, can I come along? I also need a ride back since I'm technically not supposed to be out. Doctor still need to run some more tests on me.
Annoying.
Was that a yes? Sorry, man, I couldn't hear what you said.
Fine. I can take you along as well. Don't touch anything when you're in my car.
Hooray! I force a smile at the two, then adjust my collar, trying to quell my annoyance.
I'll try to see how to reattach that nib later. The main importance now is to pay a visit to Rue.
Sorry about that again. I seriously don't know how that came loose. I shrug, turn off my computer, and signal to others to leave my room.
I suppose it can't be helped. Now get out of my room. We have a lot to do if we're going to track down the snow leopard later.
As the two exit the room, I pull out a drawer, I open my drawer, pull out a small gray envelope, and promptly tuck it in my pocket.
Rue.
It's worth a shot. We enter the hospital after a short drive with Theodore leading the way. Strange, it feels different from the last time I was here, like there's no one around. We're almost there, just down the hall and around the corner, and we should be able to ask the receptionist where Rue went. Dude, that guy better not give us a hard time again. I've had enough of him playing with his stupid lines.
Lines?
It's a long story. As I walk down the hall, I peek through a door at the small window and catch a glimpse of several staff members wheeling people on stretchers.
How unfortunate. Was there an accident recently?
Hey, what you looking at?
Nothing. I was just curious about why it's so empty, but it looks like I found my answer. Anyway.
I pick up the pace, hurrying down the hall to catch up with Theodore before I lose sight of him. Turning the corner, I spot the tiger gesturing toward a large set of doors. This is a reception area I visited earlier when I was trying to find Rue after they wheeled him away. Apparently they were performing some kind of scan or procedure on him or something along those lines. Honestly, I don't really remember what they said. It's all just been a blur. I nod, walk ahead into the reception area, and head straight for the help desk only to find it empty. That's when I realize the entire section is empty. There's no one at the counter, no one sitting or waiting in line. Huh. Where'd everyone go? Maybe they're on break or...
Doubtful about that. This is a hospital, after all. Are you sure this is the same place you visited earlier?
Yeah, there's even the same ticketing machine here that I used earlier.
We can't really afford to just sit around and wait. Stay here and wait for Monty. Doesn't look like he followed us in. I'll quickly find someone and ask about Rue's whereabouts.
Hey, you're right. Where is he?
Probably got lost given how scatterbrained he is.
Okay, then I'll wait here.
This shouldn't take too long.
I peer down the hallway opposite of the help desk, walking along as I search for anyone who works here. Corner after corner, door after door, still no staff in sight. What was supposed to be a quick task is turning out to take much longer than I'd like.
Ugh. Doesn't help this part of the place is sectioned off.
This is getting ridiculous. Where is everyone? That's it, I'm heading back. Hey, yous! A deep voice suddenly echoes from behind me. Turn around to see what I can only describe as the textbook definition of a douchebag staring at me from down the hall.
Yes. Can I help you?
He sizes me up but remains silent. Just as I'm about to leave, he finally speaks up. What's yous doing here? There's a long, uncomfortable silence as I glare back, unfazed by the man's demeanor, waiting for him to say something more. Moments go by, but neither of us speaks.
I'm looking for someone.
Yeah? Well, get out of here. They ain't here. He sneers at me while adjusting his sleeves. This part of the hospital is closed to the public. I recommend yous leave if yous know what's good for you. Another hotshot begging to be tased. Just who does this guy think he is? My brows furrow as I try to get a better look at his features. I'm talking to yous, you deaf or something too? Whoever this guy is, I don't think I should be dealing with him right now.
I'll be leaving.
Disrespectful fuck's sake! The tiger scoffs as I turn and start walking back the way I came. As I begin to walk, Theodore suddenly appears around the corner. Hey, there you are! Theodore walks over as fast as he can, relieved to have spotted me. I'm looking for you everywhere. This place is a maze.
What's the matter? You look like a mess.
That's just a hospital being unsettling to me in general. Anyway, Monty found his staff and they told us where Rue is. He suddenly freezes up, his gaze fixed off on the distance behind me. Huh. Turn around and notice the asshole standing in the middle of the hallway, staring at both of us.
Don't worry about him. He's just an entitled prick that thinks they own the hospital or something.
Well, you don't know him, right? He's looking at you. I shake my head and walk us back to the reception area before continuing conversation.
I don't know who that man was, but you looked like you recognized him with the way you were staring.
Yeah, I actually bumped into him earlier this morning when I was at the cafeteria. He was aggressively kind. He definitely acted like a prick, though.
What?
That tiger cut in front of me when I was ordering. I guess it was taking too long. But the weird thing was, after he did that, he also paid for my food. Still don't know what to make of it.
I'm not surprised. Welcome to the city. There's all types of characters squirming around lately. It didn't always used to be like this, though. Especially before Castleton was elected.
Yo, there you guys are! We both turn and see the board cheerfully waving at us. I was like searching for you guys everywhere. One minute you were there, the next you guys were gone.
I assume you've learned where Rue is located?
Yeah, dude, he's in the rehabilitacal center. We're in the right building, but we gotta go down more. Rehabilitation center. Let a long, painful groan at Monty's idiocy, stopping myself just short of slamming my head against the wall.
Didn't you say you needed to do some tests?
Oh, I do. The doc said I got,
You should go get those done before the staff come looking for you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to get in trouble again. Again? It's a long story. But anyways, I'll see you guys around if you're still here later. The boar suddenly latches onto Theodore, giving him a quick hug before looking at me.
No. Don't even think.
Try my best to ward off the unwanted hug, but he managed to overpower me and my body is subsequently compromised. Ow. I want to thank you guys again for saving my hide. Seriously, I would have been cooked if you guys hadn't come and found me when you did. I don't even want to think about it. I could repay you guys somehow, but I don't really have much besides some change in my wallet. That's okay, we're just glad you're okay now.
You proved yourself useful enough with the information you gave.
Hey, yeah, I guess I was pretty important, wasn't I?
Some might say that.
Not me, though. Okay, well, see you guys around. I need to make sure I don't fail my blood tests. Take care. Monty, the elevator's that way. Oh, right, thanks. I straighten my collar and adjust my sleeves from the unwarranted hug, trying to smooth out the wrinkles on my shirt.
You've wasted enough time already. Let's go down and look for Rue at the rehabilitation center.
Are you sure this is the room? It all looks the same. Are we even in the correct section? The tiger continues to peer through the semi-translucent window in the door.
Yes, this is the correct room. I double-checked with the staff and even asked for a printed copy of his medical history just in case.
I give a swift knock, but no response. I decide to enter. We make our way inside and find Rue lying in a bed in the middle of the room with various monitoring machines next to him.
There you are.
Oh, what happened to his bandages and his hospital gown?
Judging by how they're over there in the corner, it looks like we came in the middle of some kind of cleaning.
Rue slowly turns his head over, his eyes locked onto Theodore before eventually landing onto me. Tries to say something, but there's a look of discomfort holding him back.
Ah, yes.
Pull out Rue's medical report and glean over the information again.
He sustained several injuries in his chest and puncture wounds. I don't think he'll be in any shape to talk.
I forgot to mention earlier, I don't think he can speak. We ended up writing down our thoughts instead.
Good idea.
I tear a page from the report, pull a pen from my pocket, and quickly scribble something down before passing it to Rue. How much can you remember? Wait in silence as he hesitantly takes a pen from my outstretched paw, writing back slowly with a weak grip. Only my name. It's like I thought.
So it is total amnesia then. This might be more serious than I thought. Rue.
My words are slow and deliberate.
My name is Javier. We occasionally work together at ARC, a private investigation agency. You might be struggling to remember right now, but I promise to fill you in on everything. It will all start to make sense. We were investigating a case, gathering clues for a couple of weeks now. We were gaining momentum and had plans to visit the harbor. That's when we ran into Theodore here. Well, it was you, but you wouldn't remember.
I glance at the tiger and sigh.
I hate to admit it, but despite what I've said, Theodore has been invaluable to our case given the current trajectory of things. Eventually, we were given to believe we could find more information about our case at the speakeasy, but that was when...
I look down, crumpling the rest of the report in my paws. My voice hitches. Try to organize my thoughts, but Rue's labored breathing catches my attention and I shift my gaze to him.
I'm sorry. I wish I could have been there for you.
Reading the report is one thing, but seeing Rue crippled right before my eyes is something else entirely. Theodore steps closer and places a paw on my shoulder, which I instinctively shrug off.
Sorry, this all hit me at once. I wasn't as mentally prepared as I thought.
I step back from the bed, averting my eyes from Rue as I try to regain composure. Don't cry. That's just what he wrote.
How ironic that you should be the one writing that to me. I
toss the still crumpled papers in my paw to the ground in frustration.
I will get to the bottom of this. You have my word. Fortunately, your prognosis is positive, and by the time you're discharged, we'll have resolved all of this.
Javier.
I'm fine. The main thing we should be focusing on is Rue.
I rummage through my pockets and pull out the same envelope from before. What's that?
I'm going to try something to jog Rue's memories. I'm not sure how effective this will be given his total amnesia, but it's worth a shot.
I fumble with the photos, slowly flipping through them for Rue, watching his face for any reactions.
Here, take a look at this. He took these together the first few months you started the agency. Most of them are with Dust, a friend of ours. He was the one that insisted I get these developed. I don't have much else that isn't on my main phone, but unfortunately it's broken right now.
I parse through the dozen or so photos again for Rue, giving him enough time to process each one. Rue suddenly lifts his arm and tries to grab one of the pictures from my paw.
No need to strain yourself. Here.
I pass him the photos as he carefully sifts through them, eventually singling out one in particular. Hey, isn't that Dust's Cafe? When was this taken?
It was accidentally taken the first case together with Rue. Don't mind how tragic I look in that photo. I was freezing my tail off.
Wolf continues to stare at the image with intense focus.
Does this one remind you of anything?
We turn at the sound of a knock, and a tall, slender cat enters, pushing a small cart. This must be a nurse. Sorry to interrupt, but I need to take the patient for an examination. May I ask you two to wait in his private room in the other building? We will transport him there afterwards.
No need. We can come back another time.
Goodbye, Rue. Save your energy and focus on getting well soon.
Leave things to me.
Wolf's attention remains on the photo, oblivious to us as we make our way out of the room. Hey, do you think Rue will remember anything? I brush my arms, trying my best to avoid eye contact with the tiger.
He will. It's just a matter of when.
The drive to Dust's cafe is quick thanks to the shortcut Javier took. He insisted we stop by and check with Dust to see if he knows anything about Christopher before we start our search. Before long, we pull up on the small road parking right next to the entrance.
I'd like to make this quick, so please follow me.
Silently, I follow Javier as we enter the familiar establishment, the scent of coffee roast lingering in the air. A couple of fallopian tubes. A couple of customers sit in the corner enjoying their drinks as we search for Dust. Javier? And Theodore, what brings you two here?
Dust. Sorry we came in on such short notice, but this is rather important.
Let me guess. You need some information on something.
Yes, as always.
Dust glances between us before raising an eyebrow. And where's the affable big wolf?
He's in the hospital.
That's not good. What happened?
I can explain more about what happened later. But first, you wouldn't happen to know a snow leopard around these parts of town, would you?
A snow leopard? Not off the top of my head. What's their appearance? He's shorter than me and wore a black face mask. Also had some kind of a necklace on. Gray hoodie, too. The puma concentrates for a moment. He turns and disappears behind a corner, returning with a thick gray book. He flips through the contents a few times before shrugging in defeat. Can't say I do. I don't really see or hear folks like that living here. So whoever you're looking for, they're probably from out of town.
It was worth a shot. The snow leopard we're looking for is part of Blackout, and he was with Theodore and Ruth at the time of the...
Javier stops as his voice wanes off, only to adjust his collar and recompose himself.
There was an incident that involved Ruth, Theodore, and the snow leopard that resulted in Rue being hospitalized.
No need to explain it now. I can tell everything from the look on your faces. Point of the book, curious about its contents. Is that some kind of record that you keep or something? This, you could say that.
He's basically a record keeper.
Hey, you give me too much credit. Anyway, it started with me writing down my customers' interests and preferences for drinks and orders, but over time it slowly expanded into a hobby of writing down gossip and intel. I guess the information about the storage room break-in and from the other day is in there too, right? Bingo, that came from a regular that works at the convention center.
I don't know how he does it, but he's managed to garner a large array of clients from all walks of life.
Dust chuckles softly, trying his best to modestly shrug off the compliment. It's a coffee, Javier. No one can resist a good blend. And, well, once you're drinking, Javier rolls his eyes before stroking his chin.
If you don't know any snow leopards, how about a polar bear?
Now, those I know quite a few. You're going to need to be more specific, though.
Well, Theodore?
Alright, there's this polar bear that works at the Grand Marine as a security guard. His name is Christopher. He's a bit shorter than me, looks like a total grump, and he has a pretty deep voice, but not as deep as Rue's. Let me check for you. Dust carefully flips through the pages before raising a brow and staring at me. Christopher, you said? Yeah? They wouldn't happen to have a bandage on their arm, do they? I think so. Yeah, that's him. Okay, because funnily enough, I don't actually have his name recorded down. Until now, that is.
Well, what can you tell us about him?
Dust scratches his head and passes the book over to Javier. Unfortunately, not much that would be considered useful for you guys.
Works at the Grand Marine, likes to order the Excelsa brew, and has been having money issues. What's this at the bottom?
DNA? That's a very good question.
Don't tell me you don't remember!
I do remember drawing that while chatting with Christopher, but I'm not sure why.
Dust, you're supposed to be dependable.
I'm not perfect. Nothing comes to mind right now, but I'll let you know if I remember anything.
Well, if you do, please contact me on my backup phone. My current one got fried during an investigation, but I'm close to fixing it.
My face heats up from embarrassment as Javier looks at me as he says that. You guys got it. By the way, what's the relationship between Christopher and the snow leopard you're looking for?
We're trying to track them down because they were seen with the snow leopard on the night of the incident at the library. There might be a strong link between them.
You guys went to the speakeasy in the rougher parts of town, huh? And this is when the whole incident happened too?
Yes.
Dust nods slowly, adjusting his apron as he retrieves his book back. You two need to be careful. Especially you, Javier. Leans in closer just so we're in earshot. It's a good thing you came when you did. There's been talks about a large-scale protest. Rumor has it that all government facilities and some public spaces are shutting down tomorrow in fear of the protest.
Again?
Unfortunately, the previous protests were peaceful. This time, there were mentions of a violent riot against the current mayor.
How annoying.
Wait, so how'd you hear about this? Was it from one of the customers? Yes, exactly. I'd be cautious of where you're headed, especially if you're going to be roaming around the speakeasy again.
Thanks for the warning. We'll try to finish up most of the field work today.
I step back as Dust reaches over and unexpectedly pats Javier's head.
Wait, did you kid hacer so?
Okay, I just worried about you guys. Javier's face is bright red from that. I can tell if he's embarrassed or angry. Oh, hi, welcome. Sorry, I didn't notice. I've been focused on reading. Yeah, didn't notice. Check some stuff. But welcome.
Honestly, and in front of Theodore, too.
What is that supposed to mean?
I think we're done here. We'll be leaving now.
Hope you get that phone of yours fixed.
Yeah.
Javier marches out the door, flushed and flustered from the interaction. You get used to it after knowing that fox for over 2 decades. That long? Yeah. He shrugs and his face brightens as he starts scribbling something on a napkin. Oh, and one more thing. Here, take this. Dust hands me over a small doodle of the DNA symbol from earlier. I remember now, it's a double helix. I overheard Christopher talking about it on the phone one time. It's... Yeah, hi, welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here. Probably not relevant, but hey, Javier wanted to know. Anyway, I'm assuming you two came together. You should probably catch up to him before he leaves without you. Yeah, thanks though. Be safe. I wave goodbye to the Puma before swiftly heading out the door. Damn, I'm back where it all started. Feels like forever since I was last here, even though it's only been a few days. Fitting that it's raining again, too, even though I swear there weren't any clouds a moment ago.
Theodore, do you need me to go over the plan with you again? I only ask because you seemed rather quiet during the car ride.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to go over it again. Fox takes out his bit flipper and starts calibrating it.
We will search for Christopher. The hard part isn't tracking him down. It's getting any useful information out of him. Now, there is a chance that he may or may not be working today. So given the circumstances, we can adjust the plan accordingly.
Right, and that's why you said we should try and lure him out.
Just me. My understanding, he'll know what you look like.
But how do we know he's even here?
We don't, but the establishment should have a record of where they live if it comes to that.
Right.
I just need you to do what I say and this should go smoothly.
I nod, trying my best to be nonchalant about the plan.
Here, take this.
He hesitantly passes the bit flipper to me before sizing me up.
Just like the power plant, I'll be depending on you with this. But this time, you're going to be jamming instead of scanning.
He searches his pockets again but fails to find anything.
I forgot to take back those earpieces I gave you the other night.
Oh. Take out the earpiece from my pocket, showing Javier as I blow off some dust. Oh, you mean this?
You still have it? Good. I was worried we wouldn't be able to communicate inside.
We're splitting up?
No. Those make the plan easier to execute from afar.
Well, Javier's leading to just the earpiece in, double-checking that it still works.
You mentioned earlier that you had spotted him around the hotel before, meaning he doesn't work at any particular spot.
Yeah, he was at the casino when I was attacked, and then at the gardens when David was looking for staff.
Interesting. That gives me the perfect idea.
What is it?
I'll tell you more when we're inside. Now please, lead the way.
Here we are, the casino. Looks like it did the other day, except... Huh.
Yes?
Where's everyone? It's a lot emptier than it was a few days ago. Despite the place still having a few people sprinkled here and there is nothing compared to what it was the other day.
It could be related to the attack you were involved in. Nonetheless, less people around should make it easier to set up what we're about to do.
Fox then points to a row of slot machines off in the distance. Give him a confused look, not sure what Javier's planning.
Christopher's a security guard, yes?
Yeah?
And someone will show up if things get out of hand. Hopefully it's him.
No one checking our IDs at the entrance, we walk deeper in until we reach the slot machines.
I recommend you sit some rows away from me in case the bear manages to spot you.
Okay, I'll sit over there.
One last thing. I need you to aim the bit flipper at the machine and press the red button when I say so. But I need you to do it discreetly.
Sure, but what exactly is that going to do? What are we planning?
You'll see.
He gives me a sly smirk before returning his attention to the machine. Scratching my head, I walk over and sit down on my own machine, carefully following the instructions and pressing the red button as I aim the bit flipper. Javier sits down in front of a slot machine and starts fiddling with the lever for several minutes, periodically looking around. Guess he's just waiting for the perfect moment. Hey, what are you doing? Javier doesn't answer and continues to pull the lever half-heartedly on the machine until a group of people sit nearby him. Now! Look down at the bit flipper and press the red button with nothing notable happening, but that's when Javier jumps from his seat.
I won! I did it!
It suddenly becomes clear what Javier's plan is, causing me to look behind me, making sure no one saw what I did, and acting as casual as possible.
Jackpot! I won! Everyone, come look!
Ever seen this level of enthusiasm in his voice before? It's a bit frightening. The annoying victory jiggle the slots play continue to ring, drawing in people around Javier and forming a small crowd.
Keep an eye out for security.
More and more people start to gather around Javier as moments pass by, cheering and congratulating him. He's practically drawing in what little people are here all in one spot. Get up and look around. That's when I spot the familiar polar bear quickly walking his way over. Who's yours coming over from your left?
I give it the signal. I need to press the blue button on my machine.
Okay. It's almost impossible to get a good view from where I'm seated with the crowd. That's now swarming Javier. You get closer without even being spotted.
I can't believe I won! This is incredible! I seriously cannot wait to cash in my winnings and buy all the things I've wanted.
Hang on, let me redo that voice. I see. I can't believe I've won. This is incredible. I seriously cannot wait to cash in my winnings and buy all the things I've wanted. I'm dying from secondhand embarrassment. Why is he talking like that? He's to work on his acting skills because I don't believe him for a second. What's going on here? Hello, good sir. It appears I've won the jackpot. All $4.7 million. Mine. Where can I go to get this cashed out?
Now.
Press the blue button, causing the machine to suddenly blue screen and shut off.
What happened? What happened to the jackpot?
Give me just a moment. Polar Bear speaks into his radio, and after a moment, he shakes his head disappointingly. There seems to be a mistake. This machine wasn't supposed to pay out the jackpot.
What do you mean?
I don't know how exactly the machines work, but I'm just telling you what upper management told me. I'm terribly sorry. Christopher waves the crowd of people away. He seems more annoyed of the crowd than Javier is. There's nothing to see here, people. The machine malfunctioned and wasn't supposed to give out a jackpot. Little by little, the crowd slowly disperses, and so it's just the two of them.
How unfortunate. I was hoping to win big today.
It happens from time to time. The staff over can offer you compensation for this, though. I can take you to the front desk if you would like, and we can have this all sorted out.
I see. There's no need. I can go over there myself in just a second.
You seem to be taking this well. Usually people are more frustrated than you are when this happens. I can feel my palms getting clammy from this tension. Come on, Javier, be more believable.
Well, it's out of my control. If I wasn't supposed to win, then I guess I wasn't. Thanks for the info, Christopher. Hey, wait, I know you! No wonder I thought you looked so familiar. What a small world, running into you again.
Have we met?
Yes, we have. At the speakeasy a few nights ago.
I don't remember seeing you before.
It was a quick small talk. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't remember me. You were with your snow leopard friend, right?
You could say that.
Where's he now, anyway?
He's working. Christopher leans closer in before Javier can say another word. The polar bear starts to whisper something to Javier. I'm only able to hear it through the earpiece. Who sent you? A person dressed like you wouldn't need work.
What do you mean? I don't need any work? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't buy it. Get out of my sight! Christopher walks off, leaving Javier standing there unamused.
All talk and no bite. Did you hear all that?
Yeah, do you think he might be onto you?
He's suspecting something, although he thinks I'm looking for work. Definitely smarter than he looks.
Javier manages to spot through the rows and points me to the exit.
Over there, he's walking to the elevators. We need to follow him.
Do our best to follow Christopher down the hotel, where we were barely able to spot him exiting the side doors of the lobby.
Extremely suspicious, and he would immediately leave instead of kicking me out.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going.
There's only one way to find out. We'll continue to trail him on foot.
On foot? But it's raining outside!
We don't have a choice. Plus, it would be too suspicious trailing him around in a slow-moving car.
I nod, bracing myself to be completely soaked.
Good. Now I believe he went that way. Follow my lead, and please, do not slow me down.
Is that him down the street, the polar bear with the large black umbrella?
Yes, it appears so. Let's keep a good distance away from him. I don't want us getting caught.
The two of us carefully follow the polar bear, making sure to hide behind buildings while standing under as many eaves as possible to stay dry. This goes on for a good couple of minutes until Christopher makes a turn and disappears into the ground. Did you just go down?
The subway, yes! Quickly, we need to follow him.
Despite my injury and Javier's stamina, we try to run over to the entrance as fast as possible. We do our best to catch up, but the wet steps slow us down significantly as we cautiously descend the long flight of stairs. Whoa, this place is huge. Pausing to take in the view, I'm quickly drawn back by Javier, who gestures toward my pockets as we stand before the turnstile gate.
Take out the pit flipper and hit the red button on the gate.
Isn't that...
Just do it, we don't have time to waste.
I do as I'm told, and the gate suddenly swings open. Javier takes no time to squeeze past me and through the gate, looking around frantically for Christopher. Suddenly, I spot the large polar bear off the corner of my eye going down another flight of stairs off in the distance. He went that way.
Are you sure?
I'm sure his vest is unmistakable.
Ah, he's heading toward the green line then.
Start to follow, but stop when I notice Javier hunched over and gripping onto his knees.
Go! You have to follow him, I'll be right behind you.
Wait, but I don't even know where...
Just go! I'm able to find you, I just need a second to catch my breath.
I jog off as best I can down the platform and the same stairs Christopher took. Relief washes over me as I spot a small crowd on the platform, making it easier to stay hidden among those waiting for the east and westbound trains. I gotta find Christopher in the crowd of people. It doesn't take me too long until I spot his bright white fur sticking out amongst the rest of the people. Oh, thank God he's still here. At one cue, a bright light illuminates at the end of the tunnel, and the front of the car zooms past, stops, and begins boarding in a matter of seconds. Uh-oh. Where's Javier? The train's about to leave any second now. Hesitantly, I enter the train, unsure of how Javier is supposed to track me down. The doors shut, and I try to find a place and watch Christopher, who's seated 2 cars down. Where are we even going? I start to shiver as my wet clothes and wet fur mingle with the sharp cold air as I reluctantly find a spot to sit. Act natural. Without a phone, I do my best to look occupied, glancing at the advertisements on the walls, occasionally checking back at Christopher. Soon I spot a map of the subway system. Have you said something about the green line? Guessing the red dot is where we are currently. And if this is the eastbound line, then there's only a few stops until we reach the end. Guess we won't be staying on for much longer. Anxiously, I've turned to watching Christopher, making sure not to get caught by his persistent, watchful gaze. It's like he knows someone is watching him. The cars gradually thin out as people leave at each stop until we're headed for the terminal station. Panic starts to set in as Christopher gets up from his seat and slowly makes his way over to me. I do my best to look away, trying to sink myself further into my seat to blend in as best I can. Crap, he's getting closer. He's definitely going to recognize me. Noticing that we're almost at the last stop, I get up and casually walk toward the door, making sure to hide my face. Come on, please! Just open already! The doors slide apart and I slip out as fast as I can, only looking back when I'm at a comfortable distance away and out of sight. I spot the polar bear quickly getting down from the platform and riding up an escalator. Doing faster now. Does he know he's being followed? Doing my best to keep up, eventually heading out of the station. Aside from a thin strip of buildings overlooking the ocean bridges, there's not much else around. When I glance back, I catch a glimpse of Christopher vanishing into a small office building just up ahead. Fuck, the rain's picking up. Pretty soaked as it is. Huh, what's that? Is that coming from me? I reach in my pockets and take out the bit flipper that's now emitting a small beep. So this is how Javier's going to find where I am.
Yo.
Earpiece comes to buzz, but it's hard to make anything out with all the static.
Theodore.
Javier, is that you?
Able to follow Christopher?
Yeah, he just went inside some kind of office building.
No, the reception is in the tunnel, but I'll there soon. Give 5 minutes.
Okay. Moments pass until I'm finally able to make my way closer, finding a spot to take shelter from the rain at a bus stop just a few buildings from the office. Man, where's Javier? Maybe I should get closer to the building and take a look inside while I wait for Javier. Nah, it's best if I wait for backup. The last thing I want to do is get myself into more trouble.
I see you. I'm right behind you.
Turn around and spot the fox completely spent as he walks down the road to me. Javier, are you okay? You look like you were going to pass out earlier.
I'm drenched. But besides that, I'm fine. More importantly, which building did Christopher go into?
Javier raises a brow as I point to the inconspicuous white office building a few buildings down from us.
I see. I can handle things from here. The bit flipper, please.
I pass back his gadget, which he wastes no time recalibrating.
It's a shame I didn't bring anything that could enhance audio, so we're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way.
What's the old-fashioned way?
I should have some internal surveillance system in which I will promptly gain access and transmit the feed to my backup phone.
So you're hacking the cameras.
I prefer my description.
He walks over to the side of the building, checking to see if there's any security cameras that could detect us before continuing to fidget with his device.
I just need to get a bit closer to the window, and there, I managed to detect a network. All that's left to do is...
Hey, this is private property. Get the hell out of... We both turn around and see the same tiger from earlier blocking our way out. Don't I know you twos? I freeze and glance nervously over to Javier, who looks equally as surprised to see the tiger. Yeah, I think I do. You're that disrespectful fox from earlier. And use that annoying tiger. He notices the stuff in Javier's paw, causing his face to immediately go dark. Hey, what the fuck is that? You spying on us?
No, it's nothing. We're not spying.
I blink and suddenly there's a gun being pointed at us. What the hell is going on? Wait, there's a huge misunderstanding. We can explain. Explain then. I'd love to hear who you're working for. Actually, why don't we move this discussion inside? Boys! Two tall lions suddenly appear behind us, blocking our escape with their crowbars and paw. Take these spies inside. Spies? Where have I heard that term being used before? And no funny business or I'll shoot. What? Hold up. What? Oh. The men approach us and grip into our shoulders.
Ow, don't touch me now. Don't. Ow!
Quiet! There's a tight grip that holds my arms behind my back as we're hastily escorted inside the building through the back. The men bring us inside a small, dark office, where we're subsequently patted down. I don't like the vibes in here.
Hey, give it back!
One of the men removes several of items from Javier's jacket and tosses it aside.
You better not have broken any of them. They're expensive to fix.
Have a seat. The lions finally release us and forces us to sit down on some rickety old chairs, where our arms are subsequently binded to the back. Glancing over to Javier, I'm surprised he's more annoyed than scared. Don't tell me he's more worried about the stuff than our lives. Hope we can talk our way out of this. Now, you says you're not spies. Which organization do you belong with? Then what are you doing with that detector in your paws? Don't think I don't know what you were doing.
We're part of ARC. We're doing an investigation on the harbor fire, and we thought there might be a lead here. And what the hell is wrong with you people pointing a gun at us?
Men look like they're about to strangle Javier, but the tiger motions them to halt. Interesting. ARC, huh? Do you know where you are? The two of us sit in silence as the tiger dismisses his lion bodyguards while keeping his gaze fixed on us the entire time. You know what? I'll make a deal with you twos. Work for me, and I promise I won't break your kneecaps. Otherwise... Just what the hell is going on? Javier? We don't have much of a choice. We're being held captive.
No.
What?
I have a better offer.
Oh, I was not aware you were calling the shots. But go on, humor me.
The polar bear Christopher, what's his affiliation to this place? If you tell us and let Theodore go, I'll work for you and personally give you all the data ARC has collected over the years that might interest Blackout.
What? What is he talking about? I thought ARC didn't know much about Blackout to begin with. Is he bluffing? Christopher, huh? Never heard of a Christopher. We saw him walking here. Enough! There ain't no Christopher here, and that's final. Start to flinch as he slams his paws on his desk and reaches for the gun in his back pocket. And what's it gonna be, you twos? Tiger takes his eyes off us momentarily and glares at the door. What is it? I'm busy at the moment. And, oh, hi! The door slowly opens, revealing the same snow leopard we've been searching for all this time. Sorry, boss, but the shipment has a... Yes, what? It's him. It's the stupid snow leopard we've been trying to find. What the hell is going on here? What are those two doing here? I'm so lost right now. What's going on? Do you know these dudes? In passing, they were the ones who tried to attack me at the power plant.
Attack? You were the one who tried to kill me!
The tiger was also there when I almost died that night. I want to retort, but my mind is blank. They're working for the others, there's no doubt about it. I'm certain they're the ones that tried to take me out that night. I shake my head at the absurdity of what I'm hearing. What, you got this all wrong, we didn't do anything! Hey, did I says you can raise your voices at me? Stop talking immediately as the pistol is pointed right at me. You twos know too much as it is already. We can't let you twos go now, can we? You bastards keep showing up like cockroaches. The perfect opportunity to get rid of you two.
I see. It all makes sense now. This must be one of Blackout's headquarters, am I correct? Following that logic, it must be the one in charge and we've been set up.
The fuck are you talking about? Get the shitty-ass smirk off your face. Fox, you's either stupid or brave talking like this, but I'm curious, so let's see what you gots to say, huh? If it don't make sense, though, then it's lights out. The hell's Javier? What the hell is Javier doing? How can he be so calm at a time like this? We're gonna die!
Initially, we were looking for Christopher because he was with the snow leopard that night at the speakeasy. But now that he's here, what was he doing that night with Christopher?
You think I'd tell you? Fuck off! I'm intrigued. Let's go along with our game. It's not like they're trying to escape. Going to escape. Fox, he was going to meet up with a client, so what?
Then that proves my suspicions. Was your client Magnuson? Therefore, you must be Helix.
So what? This information is nothing new to us and proves nothing. It was your group that intercepted the meeting, yes? More of a reason to take you out now. Javier suddenly shakes his head and laughs.
We've been set up. Theodore, remember who told us to investigate the speakeasy?
My jaw drops as I connect the dots. It was Lawrence. Oh god, that fucking snake!
He set us up. I never had the chance to verify the authenticity of the evidence he presented this entire week with the boss being out.
So what? It doesn't matter who did it. It matters that what you twos know, capiche?
Wait. I can get Magnus for you. I don't know why you need him, but I can.
Wait, Javier can? Is this another bluff? I thought Javier mentioned he couldn't get a hold of him anymore. I don't like where this is going.
That should remove any doubts of us being spies working against you.
If yous can do us that, we'll let yous both go. Ha! But we play with my rules. Our men will accompany you to get Magnus. Boss, if what this fox says is true, then you know how big this is for us. We'll see. Maybe we don't need to do plan B after all. The tiger shrugs casually, locking eyes with me as I sigh in relief when he finally lowers his gun. In the meantime, you can be comfortable here. If Fox does anything funny, then you'll be collateral. Javier, are you sure about this? I don't think this is a good idea.
You have to trust me.
There's a sudden pit in my stomach when I realize I don't have a choice. Okay. Please get Magnus. I don't want to die. Men, take the fox out to the van. The lions suddenly come barging back and forcibly escort Javier out of the room.
Don't touch me! Hey, wait, my stuff. I need my stuff back to contact Magnus.
Javier's voice slowly fades as he's forced out, leaving me alone to fend for myself. Helix, watch over the boy. I'll be busy. Be gentle with him. He's a tiger like me. If they're innocent, it would hurt me to know I did wrong to my kind. Yes, boss. I can see Helix from the corner of my eyes, his face filled with rage. You. Where's the damn wolf? He... Try to speak, my mind is drawing blanks, failing to process everything that's been happening. Tears start to fall as I break from the pressure and ultimately think back to that night. He's in the hospital. Hospital? He protected me from the shots. What? Liar. It's true. I thought he wasn't going to make it, but he's alive, although... Stop fucking lying, you piece of shit! Why would he sustain any injuries? You were the ones targeting me! I desperately shake my head, trying to hold myself together. We weren't. Please, you have to believe me. We didn't know what was going on. Stop crying! It's pathetic. Okay. Answer me this. First the power plant, then the bar. Why were the three of you following me? I don't know. It just happened that way. Lawrence told us to go there. Lawrence? Who the fuck is Lawrence? Listen, buddy. You better not fuck around with us. I almost died that night. I've had to hear seeing your shitty face again. I cower in fear something cold presses against the back of my head. It's true. I'll tell you what happened. Just don't hurt me. Then talk. Lawrence works at ARC too. He told Rue and Javier to go to the speakeasy to investigate Blackout. I don't work at ARC. I've just been tagging along because of the cryptic text message I got that night that wanted me to go to the power plant. When we got to the speakeasy, Lawrence was acting suspicious, like he was off doing his own thing. That's when Magnus came to talk to us and ask for Javier's help with an important meeting. Why? I don't know, but Magnus said he was waiting for a long time. They both left together, and not long then Rue and I saw you and Christopher enter. I sigh in relief as I feel pressure on my head disappear. The room is silent. The only sound is the frantic pounding of my heart. If what you're saying is true, then let me ask you one last thing. Why should we trust you? Javier, he's gonna get Magnus. He's putting me on the line. Isn't that enough? I feel the binds behind my arms unfasten. Huh? Don't move or I'll bleed you dry. There's too many inconsistencies with my theories. Yours make more sense if I'm given to believe you. So you'll let me go? You'll come with me if you want to live. I'll give you one chance. Follow me. Oh, shit! Oh, wait. I was going to do a whole thing with the ending. Let me do that real quick. We're going to die. Okay, it did nothing. I just wasted time. Yeah, we're going to die. We're very much going to die. So that's nice. Javier, you better not fuck up or I'm gonna cut you. Ah. Anyways. Yeah, Theo is very cute. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.